Good morning, folks. Welcome to the Tactical Dad podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Cook, and I am the Tactical Dad. In this episode 50, episode 50, we are going to talk Beginner 101 focal plane. What is focal plane when it comes to sights and scopes? It's actually the first podcast that I have done based on somebody asking about a specific topic. I was familiar somewhat with focal plane, but not too much. There's honestly not too much to it, and after doing some more research and trying to prepare myself even better to discuss it, I found that there wasn't actually that much more to it, but it's interesting nonetheless. So I'm gonna just briefly talk about it now, 101 basic style, really. There's first focal plane and second focal plane scopes, and really let's just discuss the two differences, and then I'll give you a suggestion on like which is better for what type of shooting, because everything at the end of the day, that's what everything's about. The type of shooting you're going to do, the situations you're going to be in. It's really, everything's so custom in terms of the purpose and the intention of why you need it. So this is nothing different. So the first real thing to discuss is what's the difference. What is the difference between first focal plane and second focal plane? What's the main difference? And you'll often see just in brackets FFP, and that's first focal plane, or SFP, that's second focal plane. So just in case you are looking through product descriptions or bullet points or features and benefits and you see FFP, that's what that means. It means first focal plane, and SFP means second focal plane. So the main difference between first focal plane and second focal plane scopes is how the reticle size changes as the magnification is adjusted. So in an FFP scope, first focal plane scope, the reticle size changes along with the magnification. So the size of the crosshairs relative to the target stays the same at all magnification levels. In a second focal plane scope, so SFP, the reticle size stays the same at all magnification levels. So the size of the crosshairs relative to the target will change as the magnification is adjusted. That's the main difference. Now there's a couple of advantages to one versus the other. And one advantage of first focal plane scopes is that the reticle can be used for range finding and holdovers at any sort of magnification level. And this is particularly very useful for long range shooting, where you've got to make really small precise adjustments to aiming, because that's just necessary. And then considering SFP, second focal plane scopes, on the other hand, they're typically actually a little simpler and less expensive than first focal plane scopes, because that's always a factor, right? This gear in this world can get pricey, so price is always a factor, and they can be less expensive than FFP, first focal plane scopes. So that's why, you know, it can be preferred by some shooters because the reticle remains the same at all magnification levels, making it a bit more intuitive and easy to use. So that's just something to consider. So like why, let's maybe give an example of each when it comes to excuse me, when it comes to a situation that you might use it in. So second focal plane scopes we know that first focal plane scopes are really good for long range, high precision, accurate, small adjustments for accurate precision shooting. So, you know, if you're doing like sniper stuff, long range rifle precise shooting, that's probably what you're going to want to go with. Now, what could be a situation for second focal plane scopes is because they're designed so that the reticle size stays the same at all levels, this means really that the crosshairs relative to the target will change as the magnification is adjusted. So if you are a shooter that is primarily interested and active in doing short to medium range shooting of any kind, really, and you don't want to make precise adjustments to the point of aim at different levels of magnification, then this is a good choice, because that's what it is. So it makes it just a little bit more easy to use, again, more intuitive, and I guess that's really it. Price wise as well, you can consider the price. Now I'm going to end on this note, because with gear in this world, it's always specific to your intentions and your situation, what you're going to be using it for the most. And we can really summarize with second focal plane scopes are going to be better for short to medium range shooting, and first focal plane scopes are going to be better for long range accurate precision shooting. That's really the core differences in the in their intended use. Price is another factor, and how, like, the construct of these things. What does first focal plane mean? What does second focal plane mean? They're really the main things to understand, and go from there. There's so many brands, so many manufacturers that make these, that you just got to play around with a few. Got to try different ones. Vortex usually make pretty good. Leopold make really good ones. Bushnell. There's so many good quality brands out there. Tons of different price ranges. That's something else we can go into in other episodes, but that's all from me today. Just wanted to really explain the difference and characteristics of each one, and that's all from me. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you again in episode 51. Thank you.